This is Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will travel to Turkey later this month to hold talks with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Netanyahu will be received on July 28, a few days after Abbas, who is expected to visit on July 25th, the Turkish presidency said. In quote, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan will welcome the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Turkey in the course of the same week, the presidency said in a statement. The leaders will discuss Turkey-Palestine relations and the latest developments in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, as well as other topical international issues. It added, Netanyahu's visit will be the first by an Israeli Prime Minister since Ehud Olmert in 2008. Relations between Turkey and Israel have improved over the past year, with several high-level visits, including that of Israeli President Isaac Herzog. After more than a decade of tensions, in 2010, relations were strained after the deadly storming of a Turkish ship by Israeli commandos that saw relations downgraded for more than half a decade. Controversial cluster munitions supplied by the United States are being used effectively by Ukrainian forces in their counter-offensive against Russia's invasion, a senior Washington defense official said. In quote, we have gotten some initial feedback from the Ukrainians and they are using them quite effectively, White House National Security spokesman John Kirby told reporters on Thursday. Kirby also said the US provided cluster bombs, which are banned by more than 120 countries, were having an impact on Russian defense formations and the maneuvering of Russian forces. Citing an anonymous Ukrainian source, the Washington Post newspaper reported on Thursday that Kiev's forces are using cluster munitions against, in quote, well-fortified Russian positions that have slowed Ukraine's summer offensive. According to the Washington Post, Russian frontline positions in the east and south of Ukraine, which have successfully slowed Ukraine's counter-offensive, have been, in quote, densely minded with anti-tank and anti-personnel mines and tripwires in areas between 4.8 kilometers and 16 kilometers deep. Cluster munitions are being used to break up Russian trenches, a Ukrainian military official told the newspaper. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's governing Conservatives lost two strategically important parliamentary seats on Friday, but unexpectedly retained Boris Johnson's old constituency in a setback for the opposition Labour Party. The Conservatives' narrow victory in Johnson's seat gave Sunak some breathing space to try to narrow Labour's large lead in the polls by aiming to reduce high inflation and ease a cost of living crisis before a national election expected next year. But the problems he faces were highlighted by the loss of the formerly safe Conservative parliamentary seat of Selby and Ainsty in northeast England, where Labour overturned the biggest Conservative majority at a by-election since World War II. Labour leader Keir Starmer said the victory showed, in quote, just how powerful the demand for change is. The Conservatives also suffered a crushing loss in another vote, but retained Johnson's former seat of Uxbridge and South Ruislip by fewer than 500 votes to ensure Sunak avoided becoming the first British leader to lose three by-elections on a single day in more than half a century. Greg Hans, chair of the Conservative Party, said while disappointed by the two losses, the overall result, in his opinion, had shown that, in quote, the electorate don't like Labour being in power and running things badly, a reference to the Labour London mayor's decision to expand vehicle charges to regions around the capital. Google is developing artificial intelligence-enabled tools to help journalists research and write news articles, a development that is likely to rattle nerves across the media industry after years of painful job cuts. Google is working with media outlets, particularly with small publishers, to provide AI-powered tools to assist journalists with options for headlines or different writing styles, the California-based tech giant said on Thursday. The development is likely to fuel a growing debate about the risks and benefits of AI-powered platforms like ChatGPT, which has stunned users with its ability to mimic human speech but raised concerns about copyright infringement, misinformation, and the replacement of human workers. The global media industry has been decimated by successive rounds of layoffs amid a collapse in print advertising revenues, with US newsrooms alone shedding a record 17,436 jobs in the first 5 months of 2023. The New York Times first reported on Google's development of the tool known as Genesis, which the newspaper said has been pitched to news organizations including The Times, The Washington Post, and Wall Street Journal owner News Corp. Christy Sinclair missed a chance to become the first player to score at 6 FIFA World Cups as Canada were held by Nigeria. Nigeria keeper Chiamaka Nnadozie kept out Sinclair's spot kick early in the second half as the Olympic champions were frustrated in Melbourne. Deborah Abiodun was sent off late on for Nigeria. However, they earned a point with a battling display. Canada and Nigeria have 1 point in Group B behind co-host Australia. The Canadians faced Republic of Ireland in their next game on 26th July after the Irish were beaten by Australia on Thursday. Their captain Sinclair went into this game aiming to make some personal history. The 40-year-old forward was making her 324th international appearance and has scored 190 goals for her country. She is one of 3 players to score at 5 FIFA World Cups alongside Marta and Cristiano Ronaldo, and seemed destined to make history when she was fouled inside the area by Francisca Odega early in the second half. Referee Lina Letovara awarded the penalty after the video assistant referee intervened. However, Sinclair's effort was weak and well saved by impressive Nigerian keeper Nnadozie. Nigeria, ranked 33 places lower than Canada in the FIFA rankings, defended deep and prevented Canada from many clear chances other than the penalty. That is the size of top accolade global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy weekend!